Time right now, 7:33. Good morning, everyone. Closing arguments begin today for a middle school teacher accused of leaving her cats for dead. Meantime, in court, the suspect took the stand in her own defense and emotions ran high. Dinsmore faces up to 10 years in prison if she's convicted. Well, we now know the official cause of death for a SeaWorld trainer attacked by a killer whale last month. An autopsy report says 40-year-old Dawn Branchow died of drowning and blunt force trauma to her head, neck, and torso. Her death was ruled an accident. The killer whale snatched Branchow from a poolside platform, thrashing her around underwater in front of a horrified audience. The animal still lives at SeaWorld, but doesn't take part in shows. A simple mistake almost burned down a local townhouse. It happened on Alder Drive near West Palm Beach. The family was at a dog park when a neighbor saw smoke and called 911. The owner, a retired firefighter, came home and knew he couldn't go back inside. Turns out a candle was left on top of the toilet. The fire was put out quickly and the rest of the house was saved. Today is the day, the deadline for getting your 2010 census forms in the mail back to the Census Bureau. Everyone's required to do it, but what if the form you got isn't the real deal? Althea Paul joins us live from the West Palm Beach Post Office with more on that. Good morning, Althea. Now on Fox 29, investigators want you to keep your eyes out for these suspects, believed to be behind a very violent sexual attack in our area. Chris Farrell's going to be talking about the weather. What a beautiful shot. Kind of a postcard right there of the Intracoastal Waterway on this Thursday and the sunrise in the background, the orange glow. Makes you really feel fortunate to live here in paradise in South Florida. And, you know, so many years we've complained about the drive on I-95, but no complaints this morning in central Palm Beach County. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this April Fool's Day 2010. Be careful out there, April 1. Let's check in with Chris Farrell on this Thursday morning and see what the weather is going to be like. A nice start to the day, Chris. Good morning, everyone. 7:03 is the time. Investigators with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office are asking for your help identifying these suspects. They're wanted in connection with a sexual assault that took place Monday night on South Kirk Road near West Palm Beach. The female victim was attacked from behind, led to a canal bank, and attacked as the other man acted as a lookout. If you've seen the two men or know who they might be, please call police. Devastating news for the family of the Deerfield Beach teen beaten at a school bus stop by another teenager in steel-toed boots. Doctors say 15-year-old Josie Lou Ratley has permanent brain damage after another teenager kicked her and stomped on her head. The family was too distraught to talk about it, but their attorney did.
By all accounts,
the family's attorney says the doctors tried to wean the teen off the coma-inducing drugs over the weekend, but it didn't go well. You know, this all comes at the same time that the U.S. Department of Justice has released its 40-page report of recommendations for schools and how to deal with bullying. The report says 60% of children who bully go on to have arrest records. The report also says schools should adopt a zero-tolerance policy, identify bullies and locations where bullying occurs, keep records of bullying, encourage students to report bullying, and encourage victims to stand up to it. A Port St. Lucie family may soon have some closure on a decade-long mystery after a gruesome discovery in a Broward County canal. In June of 1999, 27-year-old Nelta Jacques and her two young daughters, ages 5 and 7, left Fort Lauderdale headed to Tampa. They were driving a Dodge Caravan. They never got there, and nobody has heard from them since. But just yesterday, divers in Broward County found a van that matched what Jacques was driving in a canal with human remains inside. Her brother says he's going to meet with Broward detectives this afternoon as the medical examiner works to positively identify the remains. Got some new information this morning about a body found at a Palm Beach County recycling plant. Police believe they now know the identity of the man found inside a truck by a Solid Waste Authority employee. They tell us he was reported missing on Monday, but so far they have not released his name. No foul play is suspected. Autopsy results are pending. Developing now, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing woman. Take a good look. This is 82-year-old Francine Sokol. She was reported leaving her Boynton Beach residence yesterday afternoon in a silver Mazda 6. The tag number is L538WK. If you have any information, call the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office or the nearest law enforcement agency. 7:07 is the time, taking you across America. The Army officer accused in the Fort Hood shooting rampage will soon be out of the hospital and in jail. An attorney for Major Nidal Hassan says doctors gave him a discharge physical last night. No official word, though, on when Hassan will be moved. Hassan is charged with 13 counts of premeditated murder and 32 counts of attempted premeditated murder in the November 5th shootings. He was shot by civilian police, leaving him paralyzed. Police continue their search this morning for a fourth suspect wanted in connection with a shooting spree that killed 4 people and wounded 5 others in Washington, D.C. Authorities have already charged 3 other suspects, including a 14-year-old boy, with first-degree murder. It's going to be a lengthy cleanup in Rhode Island, where flooding has caused massive damage and forced hundreds of evacuations. The Pawtucket isn't expected to recede until Saturday. Yesterday, the high waters flooded a shopping mall and stranded a security guard. The situation isn't much better in neighboring Massachusetts. A bridge was knocked out in Freetown, stranding residents. President Obama will head to New England today to talk about health care reform. He's going to speak in Portland, Maine this afternoon, then travel to Boston. The president will spend his evening attending 2 receptions to raise money for the Democratic National Committee. Automakers are going to have to meet some tough new standards today. President Obama will sign new rules that will require 2016 model year vehicles to meet targets of 35.5 miles per gallon for cars and trucks combined. That's an increase of nearly 10 miles per gallon over current standards. The new rules are aimed at pushing companies to develop more fuel-efficient vehicles. Transportation Department is cracking down on texting while driving in an effort to reduce the number of crashes caused by distractions. The department is proposing a text messaging ban on interstate truck and bus drivers. It would make permanent an interim ban announced back in January. 20 states plus the District of Columbia already prohibit all drivers from texting behind the wheel. Well, back here at home, a local family worries they might lose a beloved pet and service dog. Hildy is a 6-year-old boxer that works with deaf and autistic children. But last week she became sick, started vomiting, and stopped eating. Her vet diagnosed her with leptospiriosis. It's a disease dogs and other animals get from drinking contaminated water. People can get it, too, if they are exposed to the bacteria. Well, the lesson is to keep your dogs away from standing water. There is a vaccine for this disease, and doctors, well, they say dog owners who live near canals or retention ponds should talk to their own vets about getting that vaccine for their dogs. Certain ducks here in South Florida have new reason to duck. We're talking about Muscovy ducks. The federal government now classifies Muscovies as an invasive species, meaning you no longer have to have a federal permit to kill them. Wildlife rehabilitators and humane organizations are also prohibited from relocating the ducks.
I would feel.
State Wildlife Commission says Muscovies spread disease, take habitat of native ducks, and breed with native species. But in practice, the Wildlife Agency says the new rules will have very little impact. We've got some new questions about who knew what and when in the Tiger Woods drama. Woods said in interviews last week that people around him were unaware of the extramarital affairs that landed him in the tabloids. But one of Tiger's alleged mistresses, Mindy Lawton, now tells Vanity Fair magazine Tiger's agent knew more. She said Tiger put her in touch with agent Mark Steinberg when the National Enquirer learned about the affair, and Steinberg said, "We'll take care of it." Woods caddy Steve Williams is speaking out again, denying knowing about Tiger's affairs. Fox 29 is your source for Tiger's return to the Masters. Our Pat Murphy's going to head to Augusta National next week. What a great assignment. Our coverage starts Monday, the day of Tiger's news conference.